is Mozzie, and welcome to my channel. This is my first video, hopefully the first of many, and I think the first thing that you'll notice about this video is that it's mostly just sound. It's 3 in the morning, and I am not feeling the most comfortable to be seen by the world right now. So I'm not going to be seen by the world right now. I'm just going to be heard by whoever is listening. If you are listening, thank you so much for taking a chance on a new ASM artist. Or I don't even know if I can call myself an ASM artist right now. How about just a new friend? And I hope that you feel safe and comfortable and that this ASMR hangout will be a good vibe for you and bring you comfort. I have tried a little bit of ASMR before and it did not go well. While my dear mother is very supportive and has told me that I should try again, my equally dear sister made it very clear that I'm bad at it. So we're trying to be better today by actually whispering instead of doing whatever I was doing before, which is speaking in my normal bold voice. I'll admit that it's very difficult to speak at this low level consistently. Number one, without feeling super self-conscious and weird, because who the heck whispers nowadays unless you're an ASMR artist? And then also, because normally I'm very loud. I hope that that's not apparent right now, that I don't sound like I'm really straining, because I'd like to create an environment of comfortability and safety and chillness. A little bit about me, in case you are interested in knowing. I figure that if you clicked on this video, you're just kind of looking to listen to somebody chat for a little bit in a calm tone. So I hope I can provide that by just giving you a little bio about some rando you saw a video of on the internet. So, yeah, interesting way we meet people these days. But anyway, I don't know if you could tell by the number of times I used synonyms in my description of how I hope you feel safe and secure and all those things. But I am a writer. I hope to someday become a published author of novels, specifically fiction. I have honestly several in the works right now, but I am primarily working on 3 different novels, and I hop around on them, or to them, depending on where the vibes are, basically, because that's just my way of kind of keeping moving with my writing and making sure that I'm always working on something, even if it's not something that is the same thing I worked on yesterday. I want to be consistent with the actual writing, the actual working, rather than being consistent or the same in general with the project that I'm working on, because that way I won't get tired of it and I won't start to hate it, because writing is really hard and it's very labor intensive, and it's not always my favorite, I'll be real. But speaking of writing, I thought it might be fun to read a bit of a book. Sorry. My hands, I'm very used to decided to crack by themselves. So, sorry about that sound. I hope it's okay. Maybe it's part of the ambiance. Possibly. I hope. But whatever. Um, so I have Jane Eyre here with me. Mostly because I love Jane Eyre. I've read it almost once. That's a story for another time. If you want to hear that story, it's not that huge or anything, but it is kind of funny, so just I should encourage you guys to comment down below. So please comment down below and I don't know, say something, leave an emoji. I don't even know. Just let me know that you watched or listened to this video so that I know I am not making myself feel incredibly awkward by whispering at my computer at 3:30 in the morning. In vain. I would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, I wanted to read Jane Eyre, not just because I love it, and I've seen many versions of it. By many, I mean like 3 versions of it, and I have a favorite, and I can talk about Jane Eyre for a long time because it's great. But I wanted to read a book, and I considered reading my favorite book of all time, which is Book of 1,000 Days by Shannon Hale. Highly recommend that book. It's pretty simple, like, a pretty straightforward read in terms of vocabulary and stuff. It's great for like younger readers, or it's like a YA kind of thing, but it kind of reads like a middle grade. Just because the language is not incredibly like complex or anything. It's not like Jane Eyre in that it's super literary. It's just a wonderful book and a wonderful story and study and characterization, in my opinion. It's been my favorite since I was like 12 years old, and I will never ever let it go. But that book is, while it's not new, it's still under copyright, so I don't know if I'm like allowed to read that on the internet. We'll see. I might do it anyway and see if the book police come and take me away, because I just love that book and I'd love to share it with people. But Jane Eyre is out of copyright. It is in the public domain. So I am totally allowed to read this to whomever I so desire to read it to. I hope I used whomever right. You know, I said I was a writer. I don't know that much about writing. I mean, I love writing, and apparently we're gonna keep talking about this. I'll read a little bit of Jane Eyre later. Yeah, we'll do that. I always joke, as a writer, I sure don't know very many words. That's why thesauruses exist. It's because we don't know what words go where. We're just trying to put one foot in front of the other. So one thing that I always do is I lose words all the time. Like when I'm talking, I'm like, oh, what is that word? And like I can't figure it out. And I'm like, you know, the thing with the stuff with the this. And somebody's like, do you mean lunchbox? And I'm like, yes, that. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. Anyway, when I'm writing, it's just as hard to figure out what words to choose. But I do it anyway because I'm a little obsessed with storytelling. But yeah, I could talk about writing all day. I've thought about, I've wanted to kind of do some sort of ASMR or something for a while. Well, I never thought about doing like a real channel. Like I never considered it super strongly. I was watching a video from Pifs ASMR, was watching a video from Pifs ASMR, and she's a pretty small ASMR artist, but I love her stuff. She does a lot of like Irish ASMR, which when I found out she's not actually Irish, I was like, what? You sound so good. Not that I would know, because I'm not Irish, obviously. My accent is very much like general American, maybe with some southern twang in there somewhere. Right there. Sometimes my southern comes out really hard, but I'm like really passionate about something. Yeah. I'm all like y'all and ain't and fixin' to. Okay, I don't know if fixin' to. Whoever says fixin' to is like really country. But yeah, I was watching a video of hers tonight that was so inspiring to me because it brought me so much comfort. And I felt so comfortable and so at ease that I was like, man, I would love to provide a space for other people to feel that same way. And I've been told before, I was told obviously by my mom that I would be great at ASMR, which was very nice of her. We'll see if she's right. But I've been told before that people really like my voice, my speaking voice. Maybe when I'm not hollering everywhere. Because as I said, I do speak rather loudly. Because that's just the nature of... I don't know what that's the nature of, I just talk loud. But people have historically told me that they like my speaking voice. So I was like, oh, now I'm not consistent enough with my speech to be like a narrator for books, like an Audible employee reader person for like audiobooks and stuff. Not that I really ever considered that as a career option. But I couldn't do that because I just mess up too often. But I can ramble. I've got nothing to say, and I could talk about it for hours. So buckle up, folks. This is happening apparently. So I hope you guys enjoy. I think that that's enough of my... Gosh, I just realized, despite the fact that I just said I couldn't be a reader for books like a narrator, I have decided tonight to read a book aloud to you fine folks out there. What am I doing with my life? Whatever, I'm a walking contradiction. Well, I'm sitting right now. But anyway, let's get into the reading because it's already been almost 20 minutes and I have said nothing of consequence, but that's okay. We're here to listen to calm, relaxing tones, dulcet tones. Hopefully, goodness gracious, I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're working with it. Yeah, let's read some Jane Eyre. This is the book. You can't see it obviously because I ain't filming myself right now. But it's beautiful. Take my word for it. It's like a Barnes & Noble special edition or something. It's Union Square. UNSQ. Something. But it's really beautiful. It's got gilded edges of the pages. It's a hardcover. This lovely floral design on the front. And it's textured, so that's fun. And the letters, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Bronte. Whatever. Charlotte Bronte. Whatever. They're gilded as well. Now, this particular copy has... Ooh, pages are nice. Shh. it's real. I don't know. It's just like a funny little quirky thing to me. Maybe I should be taking it seriously. This is a serious book. Edited by Curwer Bell. And this is again by Charlotte Bronte. Ooh, that was loud. To W.M. Thackeray, Esquire. This work is respectfully inscribed by the author. How fun. Actually, maybe I should. I don't know. I'll read like the prefaces and maybe the first chapter. We'll see how far we get before I give up. Because one thing nobody tells you about ASMR, unless you listen to a whole heck of a lot of it like I do, the breathing thing, probably not doing a very good job of it. You probably can hear every breath very clearly. I'm trying, and it's a thing. You kind of run out of breath because you're like shaking breath and everything because you're just trying to a comfortable experience for the listener. But anyway, clearing my throat theatrically, dramatically. Preface to the second edition. Preface to the first edition of Jane Eyre being unnecessary, I gave none. This second edition demands a few words both of acknowledgement and miscellaneous remark. My thanks are due in 3/4 to the public, capital P. This fancy old-timey Britishness. To the public, for the indulgent ear it has inclined to a plain tale with few pretensions. To the press, capital P, for the fair field its honest suffrage has opened to an obscure aspirant. To my publishers, capital P, for the aid, their tact, their energy, their practical sense, and frank liberality have afforded to an unknown and unrecommended author. The press and the public are but vague personifications for me. I must thank them in vague terms. But my publishers are definite, so are certain generous critics who have encouraged me as an only large-hearted and high-minded man know how to encourage a struggling stranger. To them, that is, to my publishers and the select reviewers, I say cordially, gentlemen, I thank you from my heart. Having thus acknowledged what I owe those who have aided and approved me, I turn to another class, a small one, so far as I know, but not therefore to be overlooked. I mean, the timorous or carping few who doubt the tendency of such books as Jane Eyre, in whose eyes whatever is unusual is wrong, whose ears detect in each protest against bigotry that parent of crime. All, turning the page, insult to piety, the regent of God on earth, I would suggest to such doubters certain obvious distinctions. I would remind them of certain simple truths. Conventionality is not morality. Self-righteousness is not religion. To attack the first is not to assail the last. To pluck the mask from the face of a Pharisee is not to lift an impious hand to the crown of thorns. These things, I was just taking breath. These things and deeds are diametrically opposed. They are as distinct as in vice from virtue. Men too often confound them. They should not be confounded. Appearance should not be mistaken for truth. Narrow human doctrines that only need to elate and magnify a few should not be submitted for the world redeeming creed of Christ. There is, I repeat it, a difference, and it is a good and not a bad action to mark broadly and clearly the line of separation see these ideas dissevered, for it has been accustomed to blend them, finding it convenient to make external show pass for sterling worth, to let whitewashed walls vouch for clean shrines. It may hate him who dares to scrutinize and expose, to raise the gilding and show base metal under it, to penetrate the sepulchre. Ahab did not like Micaiah. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Because he never prophesied good. I should know that name. I have read the Bible. I should know that name. But whatever. Because he never prophesied good concerning him, but evil. Probably he liked the sycophant son of Chinanana. Biblical names are a time. Anyway, I keep getting lost. Anyway, yet might Ahab have escaped a bloody death, had he but stopped his ears to flattery. Wait. Is Ahab in the Bible, or is that like Captain Ahab? I'm so sorry. It is almost 4 in the morning. I know I keep saying that. I'm just trying to establish that y'all should be a little bit generous with your reviews of this video. Now do what you want. If it's terrible, let me know and I'll stop. But if you do like it, I humbly request that you let me know. Ahab have escaped a bloody death, had he but stopped his ears to flattery and opened them to faithful counsel. There is a man in our own days whose words are not framed to tickle delicate ears, who to my thinking comes before the great ones of society, much as the son of Imlah came before the throned kings of Judah and Israel, and who speaks in truth as deep, with a power as prophet-like and as vital, a mill as dauntless and as daring, is the satirist of Vanity Fair, admired in high places I cannot tell, but I think if some of those amongst whom he hurls the Greek fire of his sarcasm, and over whom he flashes leaven brand of his denunciation, were to wake or to take his warnings in time, they or their seed might yet escape a fatal Ramoth Gilead. Why have I alluded to this man? I have alluded to him, reader, capital R, because I think I see him in an intellect profounder and more unique than his contemporaries have yet recognized, because I regard him as the first social regenerator of the day, as the very master of that working core who would restore to rectitude the warped system of things, because I think no commentator on his writings has yet found the comparison that suits him, terms which rightly characterize his talent. They say he is like Fielding. They talk of his wit, humor, comic powers. He resembles Fielding as an eagle does a vulture. Fielding could stoop on carrion, but Thackeray never does. His wit is bright, his humor attractive, both bear the same relation to his serious genius at the mere knowledge that the mere lambent street lighting playing onto the edge of the summer cloud does to the electric death spark hid in its womb. Finally, I have alluded to Mr. Thackeray because to him, if he will accept the tribute of Total Stranger, I have dedicated the second edition of Jane Eyre. Currer Bell, December 21st, 1847. That was a long time ago. Need I say, that was years ago that this was written. Note to the third edition. I avail myself of the opportunity which a third edition of Jane Eyre affords me, of again addressing a word to the public to explain that my claim to the title of novelist rests on one work alone. If therefore the authorship of other works of fiction has been attributed to me and honor is awarded where it is not merited, consequently denied where it is justly due, this explanation will serve to rectify mistakes which may already have been made and to prevent future errors. Currer Bell, April 13th, 1848. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Currer Bell was maybe Charlotte Bronte's pen name, because back then a lot of female authors would use pen names for obvious reasons. Let me see. I think that we'll stop there. These pages have a lot of words on them, so sorry. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video, and if you did enjoy this video, I ask you again to please let me know in the comments below. Give it a like. Subscribe if you would like to. There's no pressure to do that or anything. Again, this is my first video, so I'm not expecting much, but if you would like more videos from me, I would happily supply them. If I discover that you actually want more videos from me. Otherwise, I'll save both of us the trouble and just cease and desist right now. I don't really want to. I think this is fun. I like talking to avoid that could someday reach somebody. And I love the idea of bringing comfort to people when they need it, because I so often need it. A lot of people in the ASMR community, most recently, as I mentioned, Pifs ASMR, have been really strong reminders of, my value and just as a human being, and then also just brought me a lot of comfort, gotten me through some hard times. So thank you to them, all of them. And I'll link Pifs ASMR's channel down below, just because I really like her stuff. Anyway, thank you guys again for listening, and I wish you all the best. I hope you're feeling cozy, that you can get done what you need to get done, be able to chug through, feeling comfortable and safe. It's at nighttime that you can get a